this part, I'm going to go into the blaster class and the bullet as well, with their factories and object pools as well. So this is the blaster class. I did make it a game object for the update, draw and destroy. Um, and here are all, and because it also collides with the critters and the mushrooms. And I added a fire, reload, move, and get position function. And then here are the private members. So when the blaster gets created by the factory, or sorry, by the object pool right here. So when it gets created by the object pool, it just gets the sprite, sets the sprite, the origin scale, the bitmap, and it'll get initialized by the factory once the factory gets a blaster right here. So in the initialization, it just sets the position. It'll set the blaster's pointer to the player class, and it'll just register collision. And the update, all it does is just update its position. And then this is to make sure that it stays in the player area and it can't move further than that. Um, in the destroyer, I have it to where the if a bullet is fired and the blaster is destroyed, the bullet is also destroyed. That way, it doesn't continue and it could possibly hit a mushroom or critter that's in the other. So like in two players, if player one were to die and the bullet was on screen, it could hit another mushroom, but this way it keeps that from happening. Um, So then there's a series of collisions where if it collides with a critter, it'll die. Mushroom, it won't go through it. And the fire, um, I have a bullet count variable, and if it is greater than 0, it can fire. And then here's the pointer for the bullet. That way you can keep track of it. So yeah, if bullet count is more than 0, it can fire. If it's less than, or if it's 0, it obviously can't. And then when the bullet gets destroyed, it'll uh, call the reload function, and the bullet count goes back up. And then here's the move that would get called by the controllers or the different controllers. So like for the keyboard controller, right here in the update, depending on what key gets pressed, it'll call the move function and it'll move however much it needs to. And then same thing for the AI. Let's see. Yeah, here. Move, it'll move given offset for the AI controller. And while I'm at it, with the AI controller, I did use a finite state machine. So this would be for the AI controller. The AI just moves in kind of a diamond, so it always moves in diagonals. So it's got left down, left up, right up. And then here's just one of the states. Oh, there we go. So here's the base class for the states. It's pretty much the same for the centipede one. So yeah, inherits from it, and then here, and then it'll create the move offset that'll so the blaster can move. And then as far as getting the next state goes, it's pretty. So I just have it where if it reaches any of the player area borders, it'll go in the opposite direction. So kind of like it's bouncing off. Um, Otherwise, it'll just continue going in the direction that it's going. So it'll always move in a diamond in a clockwise direction, I believe, um, or it'll bounce off like the edges. And if it gets stuck on a mushroom, it won't move unless that mushroom gets destroyed. But that's just how the AI works, or the AI controller works. And then just the get position. So that would be that. So for the blaster factory, it is also singleton. So I got the pointer instance right here, and it'll get the singleton itself gets created. Here are the static functions. Uh, I did make this return a blaster pointer. That way the player can actually keep track of the blaster. Then here is the code for the factory. The factory does get the sound command for the sound manager. So whenever if the player were to die, it'll send the sound, it'll send the play command for that sound, and then here's the delete. It'll get rid of the sound command, the pointer instance, and it'll set the pointer instance to null. So that'd be the factory. Then here is the object pool. Then here's the stack of recycle blasters. And yep, so go into the bullets. So for the bullets, let's see. So here's the bullet. It is also a game object because I need the collisions. But also has the update, draw, and destroy. So then, let's see. So I've got a couple variables. So just the speed, just show how fast it'll go. The roll limit. That way, when it reaches a certain point on the screen, it will get destroyed, and just send a pointer for the blaster. Uh, that way, when it gets destroyed, it can let the blaster know, and the bullet count can go up on the blaster, and then just position variables and the sprites, bitmaps. Let's see. So bullets are also part of the factory, which is also a singleton, and it's the same, pretty much the same as the blaster factory and object pool. It has a different sound. Whenever a new bullet is created, the sound will get sent, or the sound command will get sent. Then here's the terminate. The sound pointer gets deleted. The instance gets deleted and also set to null. But back to the bullets. So the factory, just like with the blaster factory, it'll get a bullet from the object pool, and it'll either recycle a bullet or create a new bullet. When a new bullet's created, just sets the sprite, sets the origin, all the bitmaps, and then it will initialize the bullet. The bullet factory will initialize the bullet right here, and it just sets up the position variables and different pointers, and register collision as well. And then here's the move function for the bullet, and the update, all it gets called is the move, and it just checks to see if it ever goes off screen. That's all it does for the update. So for the move function, it just adjusts the Y uh, the Y position, and also keep going up. Then everything, then just some gets and the collisions for if it collides with a critter or a mushroom or even the text, it'll get destroyed and let the blaster know so another bullet could get fired. So yeah, that would be it for the blaster and the bullets.